It is war! It is war! Prince William is planning the most extraordinary snub on Prince Harry. This is revenge, a dish best served cold. This is explosive stuff. We know the brothers are at war. William is boiling with rage about Harry's total disloyalty, his treachery, his attacks on the royal family. And William has kept quiet. He's kept his counsel. He's been discreet. But he's about to drop a nuclear bomb. This is huge. So plans are underway for senior members of the royal family to travel to the United States of America for America's landmark 250th anniversary. Okay, it's a massive moment. A quarter of 1,000 years, for a quarter of a millennium, isn't it, that America will have existed. It's a huge occasion, and Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are to be axed from the ceremony. They will not be involved, and it's our understanding that it is William that has pulled the trigger. So, massive royal occasion in the United States for this spectacular celebration of the history of the United States. Harry and Meghan living in America. Meghan herself a United States citizen, but it is the royal family and William and Charles and Camilla and Catherine who will reign supreme in the summer of 2026. This is massive because we understand that it's Harry who has basically pulled the short straw, okay, waged war against his older brother, and Harry always loses his fights with William. Have you noticed that? Harry always loses out. So from the moment of his birth, William beat Harry by getting there first because, of course, based upon the laws of this country, the firstborn becomes king. So already Harry's like, oh, poor me, I'm the spare. What a drag being a multimillionaire, never worrying about bills, having butler put toothpaste on your toothbrush, ironing your newspaper. It's such a drag being world famous and having any woman you want in the world. Poor Prince Harry. Well, so he's the spare. So William beats Harry in the race of life and is the first in line now, behind Charles, second in line well, what do you call it? He's going to be the king after Charles passes, which is a massive slam dunk. And can we all agree that it's fantastic news that maybe the gods above, whoever your higher power is, has decided that it should be William and not Harry? Can you imagine if Harry was firstborn? Can you imagine the people of the United Kingdom preparing for the reign of King Harry? Yikes! I actually want to leap into the River Thames, which is right next to me. Such is my anxiety, the idea that that guy could have been firstborn and become king. And you know who'd be queen? My husband. I'm so happy to be queen. But you know something? Even though I'm queen, no one ever asks me how I'm feeling, even though I'm queen, the most powerful person in the whole of the United Kingdom. Luckily, it didn't happen. The gods, our higher power, decided it would be William, a wiser man, a better looking man, a more noble man, a man with a fabulous body mass index. I'm certain the boy's got abs. I've not seen him topless recently, but he's lean, isn't he? He is lean and mean, and he's focused on an amazing reign as King William. But you know what's so exciting? We don't have to wait now for the punishment beating of Harry, because I thought we had to wait until his reign before he strips Harry of the Duke title, which would be bad news for Harry because he's got a massive ego. He's got no job. The charities are all a hot mess. All he's got left is Duke of Sussex, and that will go, but we're going to have to wait a few years for that. And let's hope we have to wait a long time, and I'll tell you for why. Because we want King Charles to reign for as long as possible. He's a fine man. He's battling cancer, which is, hey boys, give my viewers a wave. Woo! There we are. You see, this is the River Thames. I mean, by the way, a couple of things. I'm filming late afternoon. Isn't that nice? Do you know, isn't it funny whenever I film, people just wave at us? I think they love us. I think they love the community of the Mark Dolan Show. Before we carry on with this, this story is beyond belief. But before we do that, do you want to have a look at what appears to be the beginning of a sunset? Is that not lovely? Do you not find that gorgeous? Let me zoom in. I must remember to zoom out because I've not got executive producer Nathan with me today. That's pretty magical, isn't it? Now listen, I'm terrible on bridges because in the last video I called Tower Bridge London Bridge, which is a bit embarrassing because I was born in London and therefore you'd think I know what the bridges were called. And I don't remember what this bridge is called. I actually don't spend that much time in this area. We're essentially in Westminster. And who knows what bridge that is, it'll come to me. But there is a very special bridge. What I'll do, should we do this now? Or I'll quickly just show you the other bridge. And that, I do know, is Westminster Bridge. And of course the reason why it's Westminster Bridge is because it is the bridge that links South London to North London. No, that's also not true. Look, basically, it's Westminster Bridge, and that is the Palace of Westminster, the mother of all parliaments, the home of our democracy. Is that not a beautiful Victorian palace? Just brilliant. Renovated not that long ago. If you look at pictures of that amazing building, I can tell you that in the 1970s and 80s it was black basically because of the pollution, years and years of pollution, but very happily they cleaned the rubbish off it, and now William is cleaning the rubbish off of his own family like this, discarding the unwanted debris that is Prince Harry. Poor Prince Harry, world's least happy millionaire. So William always beats Harry. He got there first to become next in line to the throne. He got there first with the most fabulous spouse in Catherine. Oh my God, what a great girl. And if Harry had met Catherine, someone like Catherine, he would be doing so much better. If he was with a lovely girl like her, who's dignified and beautiful and intelligent and discreet, he'd be doing a lot better. The worst thing that ever happened to him was meeting Meghan. But what I will say is that it's Harry's fault, because the truth is that, you know, Meghan's Meghan, okay? And it's important that we stress this. We shouldn't beat up on Meghan too much. Meghan is the way she is because of her life experience and goodness knows what. Is there some kind of trauma going on? Let me know in the comments. What's wrong with Meghan Markle? Why is she like this? What's wrong with her? What is wrong with Meghan Markle? Why is she like this? I don't know, because I think she had a great start in life with her lovely father, who took great care of her and raised her as a princess from day one, paid her a fortune for her education, $500,000, higher education, acting classes, private school, and she pretends that she lived under a trailer. It's an amazing thing. Her reality distortion field is quite something to behold. Why is Meghan like that? But she is. So you're always going to get your Meghans, okay? And in a way, with Meghan, I'm not a fan, as you know, but good luck to her. She's not a very talented person. She's not a great actress. She's not the most beautiful woman in the world. She's not a natural princess. That didn't work out well. She's a terrible entrepreneur. She's an awful TV host. She can't cook. Whenever she cooks, she looks like she's going to burn the house down. But she's determined. You know, she's a survivor. She's a hustler. Meghan is a hustler. She's getting it done. She's getting it done. She's a hustler. She loves the hustle. And, you know, I'm not a fan, but that's Meghan, okay? You will always have Meghans. You know in your family that you've seen Meghans come and go, right? Your brothers, and your uncles and your fathers and your husbands, whatever, your male relatives will have got involved with a Meghan at some point. And you're like, get that woman out of your life. She's not good for you. You can do so much better. Normally it's your mother that can spot the Meghans, which is why I always listen to my mother, who is Mrs. Dolan. I listen to I hang on every word, because she's wise, because mothers are. And they can spot a Meghan a million miles away. Let me know in the comments, have you had Meghans in your family? Meghan types? Controlling and narcissistic, but pretending to be a victim. So, Harry always gets beaten by William. This American story, you're going to so love it. So the next thing is that William punches Harry, revealed in the book Spare, which I've actually got a few copies. I bought some. I went on eBay and I bought 50 copies of Spare, because I need firewood this winter and kindling. So, and because they're all 99 cents, it's cheaper than buying wood or coal. So I'll be warming the house, the Dolan house, with unwanted pulped copies of Spare. And I was sitting there watching the fire, right, with a brandy in my hand, just seeing the pages of nonsense and lies just crisp away into dust. Oh, it was so terrible, you know. Once they forgot to plug my mobile phone in, and so I had 98% power rather than 100. I'll never forget about it. It was a trauma. I'm going to write about it in the book Spare 2. All of that goes up in smoke. So, in the book Spare, William has a fight with Harry. Who wins? William, obviously. He always beats Harry. Best wife, best job, best looks, best body. I'm certain that William's got abs. I can't lie. None of my business. He's the king soon. Let's not be disrespectful. And he clouts him. And by the way, the Mark Dolan show will never, ever advocate that kind of action. It was wrong what William did, but he did win. Okay, so... So now... Here we go again. William's been very patient and he's waited for his moment. And the moment has come. This is my moment. This is my perfect moment. And we've got this celebration of the United States of America. A quarter of a millennium. 250 years of the greatest country of history. Love America. Right. I don't know. Is America the greatest country? Let me know. Can I be honest with you? I think all the countries are the greatest. I think all the countries are the greatest. But America, I will tell you, has had a disproportionate positive influence on the world. I like to live in America. No one but in America. I like to live in America. Don't know the lyrics. Right. So look at it. United States is a global beacon of democracy, of enterprise, of multiculturalism, a multi-ethnic society. America is a colossal, gigantic success, and it's going to be celebrated in style by King Charles, Queen Camilla, Prince William, Princess Catherine, and no Harry. Oh dear, I didn't get an invite. I'm even more depressed now. And my husband, Harry, where's my invite? I didn't get the invite for the celebrations of the United States of America, which is a quarter of a millennium old. I didn't get the invitation. H, where's the invitation? My husband, where's the invitation for the party? I always go to parties, although I sometimes say, don't take any photographs of me inside the party. And if you do, I will cancel you forever. I'll take you down to Chinatown. So, Harry and Meghan will not be involved in the royal celebrations of 250 years of the United States. It's our understanding that it's William that's pulled the lever. Revenge is a dish best served cold. This is ice cold. And it's a massive move. Harry will be furious. And it puts paid to that ridiculous fake news from that lovely former royal photographer, Ian Pelham Turner, who is an outstanding guy and a really, really talented photographer and a fabulous royal commentator. I often agree with him. But I don't know whether he's been got at by the Sussexes, but he was recently on the record as saying that William has opened the door to a reconciliation. Good luck with that. Are you out of your tiny mind? So it's not going to happen. And now we've got the latest, which is that William has decided that Harry, the H-bomb, my husband, will have no part in this royal celebration of America, with all the royals going to the United States, having an amazing time, going to the Grand Canyon. Ooh, it's very deep, isn't it, Camilla? Ooh, the Grand Canyon, it's very grand, very canyon-like. It's quite bigger than I thought, bigger than it looks in the photographs. They'll be everywhere. They're going to go on Space Mountain in Disneyland. They're going to go to Nashville, enjoy some live music and some outstanding local cuisine. They're going to go all over the place. Death Valley. There's so many places. They can enjoy Maine. What a beautiful rural environment Maine is. My dream is to go to Maine in the winter. And I just want all that snowy landscape and the green, evergreen trees and the pickup trucks and the United States. So we're going to all celebrate America next summer, and the royals are going there, and Catherine will be packing all her best stuff, her best frocks, the best outfits. None of her frocks, by the way, none of Catherine's frocks, none of her dresses are stolen. Unlike certain people I may or may not mention. So, by the way, let's just check the light. How's the light? Is it all satisfactory? I think it's decent. we've had our sunset now. And it is the sunset of Harry's relationship with William. And this is the first serious manoeuvre that we've had from William putting his brother down. And it's really embarrassing because he's doing it on William's turf, right? On Harry's turf. Those boys, I do mix the names up, but they're quite different people, as you know. And I don't think Harry's got abs. Harry hasn't seen his abs since the 90s, I would suggest. Why? Because he drinks beer. He's so depressed. He just he guzzles, Budweiser, which is the king of beers. We know that. It says it on every can and on every bottle. And he's eating those Baconators from the Wendy burger, to which he's addicted. And his life would have been so much better if he'd met someone like Catherine. That was the problem. But the point I was making earlier is that it's not Meghan's fault. Meghan's Meghan. And you're going to tell me in the comments if you've had Meghans in your family. Meghan's Meghan. Okay? And Harry's only got himself to blame. And he could have met someone lovely like Catherine, an English rose. And as I've said before, and I'll say it again, he could easily... an American woman would be perfect if it wasn't Meghan. And I'm thinking an all-American gal. And I think I've been to Hooters a couple of times, which is an outstanding restaurant that middle-aged men go to for the food, and the service is why they go. They go for the decor, I can't lie. And Harry could have hooked up with some nice lady from that works at Hooters, like Tiffany, a woman of substance, a girl, maybe not the brightest creature in the world, but loyal and knows her way around the kitchen. Perfect for Harry. The two of them, ideal. It's the match made in heaven. But no, he chose a crazily, maniacally ambitious, power-hungry, narcissist, egomaniac, lunatic. My husband, no one asks me how I'm feeling, and when I meet poor people, I write on the banana, and that really helps them. That makes the difference. They're hungry, they have no food, they live in a crime-ridden hellhole. So what I do is get the Sharpie out, and I write nonsensical slogans on a banana, and that fixes everything. And that's scientifically proven as the case, that it fixes their problems when I inscribe something freakishly inane on a banana. You're welcome. My husband. So excited about this story, and credit to Page 6, who have got all of the gory details of this wild snub. So according to sources speaking to Page 6, which is outstanding for royal exclusives, let me say just this. According to sources, William and Kate Middleton are preparing to take part in the major July celebrations marking a quarter of a millennium since the Declaration of Independence was signed. At the same time, officials told Page 6 that King Charles and Queen Camilla have been invited to Washington, D.C. for a state visit in April at the request of President Trump, contingent on the King's health and ability to fly. We're hoping all the senior royals will come over, one well-placed palace source said, adding this is going to be a huge year for both the US and the UK. So April is the month to forget for Prince Harry, because that is when his brother, that is when it isn't in my arms. That's when, in April, is when the whole family come over to the United States and go to Washington, D.C. And they will they'll stay in the White House, won't they? I would have thought. What a mic drop. Harry and Meghan wouldn't even get on the outer perimeter of the White House, right? They wouldn't be allowed to go where I filmed a special edition of the Mark Dolan show, where I destroyed several $1,000s worth of equipment in the rain. Yikes! So, it's massive. Despite the wider royal presence being anticipated, California-based Harry and Meghan are not expected to be included. One insider explained bluntly that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, given their non-working status, would not feature in the official programme. Well, that's the party line, guys. That's what they're telling you. But we know that William has pressed the nuclearo buttono. Yes, they say, obviously the Duke and Duchess of Sussex aren't working royals, so they'll not be invited to any celebrations. An invitation would have to come at the behest of the royal family themselves. That has not been forthcoming. Now, the bottom line is, obviously, any normal family, if Harry was flavour of the month, of course he'd be there. He's the son of the king. Of course he's going. That's why this is an act of war. This is why it's so bold. It's why it's so shocking. It's why it's so outrageous. It's why it's so devastating for the H-bomb. Now, Charles continues to undergo weekly treatment for an undisclosed cancer, and recently marked his 77th birthday at an event in New York organised by the British Consulate, because the special relationship between the United Kingdom and the United States is so special, just as special as the relationship between the United Kingdom and Canada, between the United Kingdom and Australia, between the United Kingdom and New Zealand, between the United Kingdom and France. Bonjour, comment ça va? Ça va bien. Merci. Je vais au cinéma avec mes amis pendant les vacances. Just like the very special relationship between Britain and Germany. Deutschland auf die Treppe schnell. Auf die Treppe schnell! So, you know, Britain's friendly. We're friendly with the world. And look, there is the location of our democracy. Shall we have another quick look at it in different light? Isn't that amazing? They don't build them like that anymore, do they? Oh, I must remember to unzoom. Right, we're going to wrap this up shortly, but I just want to get all of this across to you because it's all massive news. So the celebration held at JP Morgan's new headquarters and hosted by CEO Jamie Dimon reportedly featured significant discussion about the upcoming 250th anniversary event. That was the bash that Charles attended, right? They're getting ready for this, and the Americans are delighted to welcome the British royal family, and the Americans are so happy not to welcome Harry and Meghan, because let me know, American viewers, do you like Harry and Meghan? I mean, you know, what is your view of them? I think looking at the comments, not too positive. What broadly, what is the popularity? Well, actually, we reported on it because we know we have the statistics, which is that they are, I mean, Meghan has almost minus approval now among Americans, which is ironic given that she's an American herself. So Harry and Meghan's absence from the planned celebrations stands in contrast to the ongoing prominence of their titles. The couple's use of their royal styling was highlighted recently when, during a Harper's Bazaar interview, Meghan was formally announced by a house manager as Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. Meanwhile, William and Kate's rapport with US political leaders has been noted before. During Donald Trump's most recent UK visit in September, Catherine Middleton made a strong impression. There was an electric chemistry. Now listen, I know that half of you don't like the US president and then half of you love him. And this is the crazy thing. Half of you don't like him, half of you love him. It doesn't matter, right? Do you know what I love? I love the office of President of the United States. That's what I love. I love the title, I love the office, I love the White House, I love the principle of the leader of the free world, whoever they are, okay? And whoever the US president is my president, because I love America. And therefore, I think it's an amazing thing that Catherine and the current president of the United States had such a chemistry, such a connection. I mean, who wouldn't get on with Catherine? She's an amazing lady. And the US president and William, I mean, they had a couple of bilaterals. They were like that. It was, and I don't think that Donald and William are similar people. I think they're quite different characters, if we're honest about it. Donald is very combustible. China. So, but William, I like William. William's good. Okay, so. Yeah, the two of them, and it was an amazing thing to behold, watching William with the President of the United States, with a commanding presence. I'm talking about William here, you know. He looked like a global figure. He looked ready to be king, stately, engaging the leader of the free world in a lengthy bilateral that I think risked making William late for other engagements, but William is not going to interrupt the leader of the free world. You're not going to do that. You especially don't interrupt Trump, otherwise he'll start tweeting about it later, furious, in bold capitals. So, you know, I couldn't be prouder of William and the connection. Therefore, you know, William and Catherine, I would suggest, are already in there with the Americans, you know, ahead of this celebration. Already basically respected figures who are going to do wonders for the special relationship between the UK and the United States. At a state banquet at Windsor Castle, Donald Trump sat beside the Princess of Wales, Catherine, whom he later mistakenly referred to as the Queen. Could you blame him? Because she looks like the Queen. To many, she already is. Who could blame him? King Charles previously praised President Trump during that event for finding solutions to some of the world's most intractable conflicts, highlighting the historic and ongoing ties between the two nations, bonds he emphasised with the words, "Our people have fought and died together for the values that we hold dear." And he's so right, the King's so right about that. So next April, this gathering is going to be massive, right? In anticipation of the July celebrations, a quarter of a millennium, and you've got the 4 key figures in the royal family. No Harry and no Meghan. This is just, and insulted on their own territory. So William has waited this long. Don't forget, poor old William. The last time that he's actually done anything direct like this to really, punch Harry on the nose was when he had to go to church and deny, following a question from a reporter, are the royal family RACIST? And he said, no, we are very much not a RACIST family. And that was obviously, that was a slap in the face. That was a dig. That was an Exocet missile in the direction of the world's least happy millionaire. And it won't have been fun. But tough luck, Harry. Get used to it. You always lose. William always beats you. And he always will. And the poor old Harry doesn't know what's coming. Just wait till his brother's king. I mean, yikes! It's over, isn't it? When he becomes king, if we think that Harry's depressed now, just wait till he sits there in that awful home cinema of his in Montecito, California. Montecito! And he'll be like really depressed, like, right, with Meghan running over, trying to like weirdly, forcefully kissing him from time to time to convince the world that they're still happy, which they're not. The divorce is coming. But he'll have to watch on the big screen in his Montecito house, which was paid for by the betrayal, paid for via the betrayal of the royal family. And he'll have to watch his brother be crowned. Because, by the way, don't forget that our sources are suggesting that Harry may well not be at the King's coronation. And I don't think, let me know in the comments, should Harry be at the coronation of William? When William becomes king, should Harry be invited? I don't think so, and I shall tell you for why. Because if he goes, he'll make it all about him. It'll be all about Harry, won't it? With that grumpy little face of his, which we saw at the King's coronation. Just, it's pretty wild. The guy is, because he wants to hoover up the headlines. Of course he does. He's competitive with William, but he always loses. So this special relationship's going to be very, very good. Trump's advisors have reportedly extended an invitation for Charles to undertake a state visit in the spring, though the King's medical condition remains a determining factor. Photographs from the state banquet show Charles and Queen Camilla alongside Donald and Melania Trump, a very nice lady who never speaks, reflecting the close diplomatic links both sides have worked to maintain. By the way, I like Melania. Can we all agree that we like Melania? I think she's beautiful. And I think she's very dignified. There you go. I don't know. Is it going to get cancelled now? I don't know. I like Melania. I think she's lovely. And it can't be easy with Donald, can it? It can't be easy. He's a very noisy personality. And I think, God bless her, really. But and she's intelligent too. She's very good. Relations within the royal family remain strained, as Page 6 has previously reported. Prince Harry and Prince William have not spoken in more than 2 years, although Harry has expressed a desire to resolve the family rift, telling his father during the famous September face-to-face at Clarence House that he would love a reconciliation, later telling the BBC he did not know how much longer his father had. Pretty wild stuff, isn't it? Well, there you go, folks. It is conclusive now. We've seen the first move in this elaborate chess game from Prince William in the direction of his brother Harry. Harry has never had someone say no to him. He's never had someone stand up to him. He's sort of a bully in his own way. He pretends to be all soft and lovely and I'm just Prince Harry. Actually, he's a bully. And I think he's manipulative and I think he's an egomaniac. I think sometimes on this show, I'm actually too hard on Meghan, right? And I think I'm actually not hard enough on Harry. Because this is a guy, he's old enough to know better, so self-indulgent. At least Meghan, right? At least she's clawed her way up to where she is now. She's elbowed her way in. What's Harry done? He's won the womb lottery. And that is all he's done. Love Prince William. And I will remind you that he's the Prince of Wales. let's just, by the way, before we go, let's have that last sunset. It's getting really pretty now. Look at that. Can you argue with that, folks? Old London town. Just spectacular. And then one last look at the Palace of Westminster. That, by the way, is Millbank Tower, which is not particularly architecturally stunning, but politically significant because there are a lot of political offices in there. Millbank Tower. This was the nerve centre of the Tony Blair regime under New Labour, for better or worse. And then there again is Big Ben, the Elizabeth Tower, as it's actually known as a part of the structure, and Westminster Bridge. So that is it, folks. It's been great to chat. Can't wait for tomorrow's show, and we're going to celebrate. We're going to play out with William, who has been a hero today. So excited about this latest move. And therefore we'll play out with an iconic, because he's the Prince of Wales, an iconic Welsh singer, and that is Tom Jones, who's still in his 80s, still an amazing vocalist, an amazing singer. You've got to love Tom Jones. And therefore, I don't know if you know this one, but it's a beast of a track. Why, Delilah? My Delilah.